So in Halo 3 there is a hidden ledge that is in such an obscure location that reaching it should not be possible. So, can we get to this ledge? Let's give it a shot! So this fully designed ledge is located just outside of the bomb room on the mission Crow's Nest. Now if you've ever done any looking around in this, you might have been able to see through this window and saw this ledge. And you also may have noticed that it's completely designed. However, the thing about this ledge is, it doesn't exist for more than half the mission on Crow's Nest. So not only do we have to somehow find a way to get to this very obscure ledge that is completely outside of the playable mission, but we also have to find a way to get this ledge in its normal state. And to get there, we would first need to transport a Warthog all the way outside of the hangar. So the reason we would need a Warthog first and foremost is because we would need a way to launch all the way up to the top of this ledge. It is located at the top of a very steep mountain face, and walking there would not be possible. Luckily, we do not need this Warthog in pristine condition. All we need to do is get the blown up form of it all the way outside of the hangar. But to do that, we first have to take it down this hallway and through another couple sets of hallways, and we'd have to be basically playing the children's game where you're fitting the blocks in the appropriate shaped hole. Now, for whatever reason, I could not record on this mission. It was so choppy, and I tried to record this step 5 times, but for this, you need to jump on the Phantom's turret, jump backwards into the Phantom, and then walk into one of the corners. Once the Phantom exits the hangar and hits the map barrier, your body will go slinging forward. Once this happens, you know that you can get back on the turret, and then you can ride the Phantom all the way until it falls to the surface outside of the map. This is the 5th time I've recorded this, by the way. Now, the first purpose of this Phantom is to, 1, get outside of the map so we can get to this ledge. But the second purpose of this Phantom is as a launching tool. We are going to use this Phantom's flip to launch ourselves all the way to the top area beneath this ledge. In the area where you drop with the Phantom, there is no way to walk up to the upper ledge. You have to somehow launch to the top of it. I had my brother go through the mission to get a checkpoint so I would have repeatable attempts. Now, it was time to hit it.
Did Stephen King go to the island?
Oh, for sure.
I think he invented the island based off of the small snippets of his reading I've seen.
He's definitely have you ever seen, I mean, look at a picture of him. You don't need to know anything more.
Let me read an excerpt from one of his books.
Okay, I'm up.
He didn't tackle Bob Raines while Bob Raines was kicking his sister and stepping on her, and crushing her fragile chest on which no breasts would ever appear. Stephen King.
Wow.
Great writer. Fantastic. He stepped on the nuts that would never descend.
Okay, now that I successfully Phantom launched to the top part of this upper area outside of the map, I now needed to go and locate the Warthog that my brother hit outside of the hangar earlier. Fucking thing all the way up there. Oh yeah, you can barely see it. See it right up there? Holy moly, this Warthog was like right on the freaking edge. And I might have just sent it down the cliff.
You're cool.
So although this step seems somewhat menial, it is the most important step of the entire trick. We need to get this Warthog up to the upper ledge as close as we can to this ledge on a surface that is somewhat flat. The reason is, we need to have this Warthog oriented in a position where I can be standing on the back of it and it is slightly tilted towards the ledge. Now this is a lot easier said than done because maybe I just used the frags. This is a cliff face, it's a giant rock, and they don't build flat surfaces on rock. Now my first idea was to try to get this Warthog set up on this little ledge where there's multiple surfaces. I figured, well, because there's multiple flat-ish surfaces, I could probably orient the Warthog somehow with the wheels to get it to a flat-ish position. This is like the only flat-ish ledge that is pointed in the right direction. So one thing I definitely don't want... Oh... This could also be... Maybe. Like I said earlier, I would need it tilted slightly towards the ledge so that I could launch in that direction instead of straight up. No, because it's not perfectly flat.
Listen, my favorite anime is Cory in the House.
Terrible what they did to him, huh?
What did they do to him?
What they do to every Disney star.
Him?
Jeez. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Now, the ledge that I'm trying to hit the Warthog to in this instance is the one that I was referring to earlier. There are somewhat flat surfaces, but there are a couple different planes that move in different directions. I figured that if I could orient this Warthog somewhere where I could have 3 points of pressure with the 3 wheels that I had remaining on this Warthog, I could get it somewhat flattish. However, my concern when moving it to this area was that, it's a little bit far away from the ledge. I wanted to be closer to under it, but I just really did not have much to work with. The flattish ledge that I saw earlier wasn't perfectly oriented towards the ledge, so I'd have to turn it and then kind of figure out the trajectory there, which is why I decided to try the Warthog in this orientation on this part of the cliff. A little bit of an issue here. Can't get this Warthog to be at the same level because there's 3 wheels. I could turn it like a
It's a skill issue, my little bro.
So in my first attempt lining up the orientation of this Warthog, I stood on top of it after I thought I was done and realized that I was pointed nowhere close to where this ledge is. I tried to hit it over a little bit more, and with this, I didn't find a lot of luck. Because of the 3 wheels, I just couldn't put this Warthog in any position that lined me up towards the ledge. I thought I got this Warthog into a position that was the most ideal for the place that I had it on. It was lined up generally towards the ledge, but also it just seemed so rickety that I wasn't willing to waste our only checkpoint to be able to do this on this terrible setup. Seems not ideal. Hold on. I need to make sure I have it in a pretty good position, or else I will be screwed. So I got it to its final resting position, stood on top of it, looked at the orientation, and figured, hey, I just don't have the faith in this Warthog launch. Let me see this freaking ledge. I need to move this to the platform that I looked at earlier, the flat-ish platform that was closer to the ledge. This is so much further away. I'm just going to put it up to the upper ledge. Screw it. Which, in and of itself, would give me a higher percentage chance of being able to make it. I'm actually talking to the audience, not you.
Well, sorry, I'll just go fuck myself.
Good. I think that might do it. Ready for you to progress forward and get another checkpoint.
All right, I will. I will ruin the trick. I promise.
So to be able to pull off this launch, what we're going to do is stick the remaining bumper on this broken Warthog with a plasma grenade and try to launch at the top of this ledge. But before that, my brother needs to proceed through the mission and get a checkpoint. If he dies, this trick is over. And luckily, he was able to clutch up, we got the checkpoint, and now I was ready to pull this off. Ooh, that was close.
They're calling you Doogie Howser. Why? Don't ask me. I don't know.
Ooh, so close. Right up! Damn it. Who is Doogie Howser?
I don't know. Let me look it up. Who's to be Doogie Howser?
Who is this Douglas Hauser? That was really close.
Dr. Douglas Doogie Howser. The brilliant teenage prodigy and child actor from popular late 80s, early 90s ABC sitcom Doogie Howser, MD. He was a board-certified surgeon by the age of 16, played by Neil Patrick Harris.
Wasn't that just the premise of the autistic doctor? Good doctor?
The good doctor. Why is he good, though?
He don't know.
I am an artist.
He's the best we have.
He's the only one we have.
He was the only one willing to accept this position.
Unpaid.
At this inner city hospital. Yay.
Everyone needs to understand that any burp you don't burp turns into a fart.
What's my grandpa always told me? It's always burping, farting at the dinner.
He always slap my cock and tell me, you know.
Don't finish this thought.
I don't have a finish that, but that's all I had to say. Didn't go well, Sonny.
Wow, I thought I made it to the upper level. I didn't.
Real hard.
Dude, what the fuck? I just got a checkpoint. Alright, we're gonna have to die a bunch of times in a row. So unbeknownst to me, after you trigger the cutscene overlay while proceeding through this mission, there will be a checkpoint that generates shortly after this. Now, because I didn't spend any time actually standing on the ground, I didn't generate this checkpoint, but I got this checkpoint as I was sliding down the hill. Now, luckily, there is a mechanic in Halo 3 that allows you to revert to a previous checkpoint. Both players have to be in a position where they can both die 5 times in a row within 3 seconds. If you do this, the game will automatically take you back 1 checkpoint. And if the game didn't do this, well, we'd have to restart this entire trick. And we're back.
Wait, damn it. The chat.
Well, I landed up here, but I can't get up there because it's too high.
Oh,
damn it! It happened again. Alright, let's die. Yeah, so I'm an idiot, and I landed on this upper ledge and looked to see if there was a way that we could double jump or something up to it, and it seemed like there wasn't. But because I'm stupid, checkpoint generated again, and my brother and I both had to die 5 times in a row within 3 seconds to reset the checkpoint once more. But now, we were finally ready to pull this off.
I'm scared of new pizza flavors, dude.
I mean, have you been to Pizza Hut in the last 10 years?
Yeah,
come on, you fucker! It really is, dude.
This episode is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Nobody else Pizza Hut.
The only hut that I trust for pizza recommendations is Jabba.
I was about to say. I knew you would say that. Papa John's, you know how the Wookiees book Trump, now, come on.
Somebody is definitely going to take that as an endorsement.
So good, he supports Trump.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, he's a Trump supporter, blah, 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 blah. I'm like,
I don't care.
Listen, dude.
Picking sides is the lowest level dialogue.
Well, they're dumb because it doesn't matter what I support or don't support. You support the same shit.
Don't you know, guys, there's only 2 sides to every single issue. There's only 2 options for every single issue on planet Earth.
And they're both real.
They're both funding. Alright, bleep that out. Okay, it's bleeped.
Every donation you make to this channel for this video will go to a Jew in need. Help old Jewish women eat food. Help fund Netanyahu's new yacht. I do think the people think it's stupid, though. How about you?
There's nothing I can do about it, so I don't really care.
That's
but
kind of
if we do get to visit Greenland for cheap, you know, I'm just thinking, how can I benefit from this?
Exactly.
Because isn't that what voting's all about? I made it up, but I died. It's about not thinking about your fellow man. It's about thinking, what do I need? What is most important to me?
What do I get out of this?
Will I get a Hellfire missile?
Will I get an Abrams tank?
Imagine that, dude. Imagine some of your tax return, you got a military-grade weapon in return.
You see that the guy's running for governor of Florida? He threatened some OnlyFans was complaining about his 50% proposed sin tax.
I saw the
keep
syntax.
it up, make it 100%.
I saw the syntax, yes. Could be a viable economic strategy. We can benefit all of us. Essentially taxing incels.
You weren't showered.
Come on! Bastard. This ledge is freaking hard to get to, dude. Come on, this could be actually it. I missed it by an inch.
Hey, Tone.
Hey, Tone, you hear this guy doesn't vote? He says his vote doesn't count. Is this true, Tone?
Quincy, shut up. Look at my fucking dinosaur book. Got all dinosaurs in it. It's pretty cool.
Now get this. They say that these things existed 60 million years ago, Courtesy. I say they were just dragons.
Just dragons, dude. Dragon, Quincy.
Quincy.
Quincy, look at these fucking
They coined the term dinosaur in like the 50s, the 1850s or something. You know what that means? It means mean serpent or something. Mean lizard. Dinosaur just means mean lizard.
You know, they may be 60 million years old, but they're still not as old as the shell of a ranch. I was eating fucking grilled cheese off a radiator. How's this free?
Free.
So it was free.
I get one free. So you drive to eat every day and you throw up and then come back?
Yeah, pretty much.
You at least get in the building before you throw up?
No, not usually.
You should throw up today.
Parking lot.
Huh?
The parking lot.
Is that what you threw up yesterday?
Yeah. Gotta keep consistent.
Why are you throwing up in the parking lot?
I don't know, you get... Oh.
Are you getting nervous?
No.
Does your tummy hurt before you go to school, little Johnny?
Sometimes.
So, did you take sick days or did you just work from here?
I work from home.
Okay, I'm done asking you a question before you yell at me.
She only had one more before I yelled. Listen, dude, I'm gonna put a vape dispensing machine in the middle school bathroom. I'm gonna make millions.
Okay, I believe I've figured out the lineup. I have to throw it to the left, stand in the middle. And just like that, bam! Speak it into existence. Just like that, Alexandre.
Speaking of existence, okay. Grilled cheese burrito from Taco Bell.
Ew.
It's not here.
Okay, dude, can you see through this window? I can see a light on the other side.
Not that yet?
Hold on, don't move. Look at me again. Push forward. Well, I'm trying to hit your hand.
Alright.
This is like one of the most obscure, fully designed places in the entire game. Here.
Always, that's what he always says. Missed. Ouch.
Oh, sick. I got a deployable cover, dude. I want to get to that ledge over there.
Yeah. Jealous? Where the hell am I?
My body made
Did
it.
you get?
My body made it.
I did.
First, only attempt, and my body made it.